Growing up in Pinckney, I would say that it was middle America, Midwest. I feel like it was a quiet town. There wasn't really a whole lot going on. I feel like there was a lot of community, a lot of lake life. I feel like there was a lot of either farming or rural environment.
There's cornfields across the street from my house. Downtown Pinckney, within town limits, we had a pig farm. And it's like eventually that left and stores came and the smallness went away.
It was quiet, like it's a small town, not like a lot to do. I feel that like that sounds really cliche, but it's painfully true.
I would describe the community as very hometown. Everyone knew everyone. I think everyone was very tight, very close knit. I feel like a lot of the families grew up with each other and knew who each other were.
Through sports or through family or friends or whatever. So it was kind of like everybody knew each other from doing stuff together in the community. But as I was kind of like getting older into the town, it was expanding and getting bigger, and like we started to get more stoplights.
It felt more suburban as time went on. Like it was real country like at first, because it's like, oh yeah, cool, I got cornfields across the street. Now it's like, okay, now I got houses and people coming in from the city, or the city, like at least the suburbs of the city, like infiltrating my area. It's like, okay, well, this ain't quite how we do it, but we can change, I guess. My name is Carl Burr. I'm a mechanic here in Flint for the local transit authority. I was Pinckney class of 05.
My name is Jessica Carter, bartender in Las Vegas, and I'm from Pinckney High School, class of 2005.
My name is Leanna Briggs. I currently reside in Dayton, Ohio. I was the graduating class of Pinckney 2005. What motivated me to leave Pinckney was to just explore and learn more, see what the world had to offer. I knew that there was more than Pinckney. Our little cookie monster. It's melting faster than you can eat it. Crystal, can we go one less spoon? Dayton is a lot different than Pinckney in the sense that in Pinckney, it was very limited on what activities were available and what opportunities for the family there were on the weekends of things to check out, things to do. I feel like in Dayton, there's just an endless amount of opportunities for things to participate in, things to do. There's always a festival, there's always some sort of kid activity or something that's going on and happening in the area that I enjoy it. The community here is really nice. I feel like there's a lot of people in the area. I feel like there's a lot of diversity, a lot of different backgrounds, and kind of a melting pot of people from different areas. I feel like we've met people from all over, different backgrounds. I think that we've really enjoyed having more of a diverse community in Dayton, like having the kids experience people of different cultures and different backgrounds. I didn't feel like there was a lot of diversity at Pinckney. It was very limited. So I think that there's value in having the kids exposed to people and cultures. So that is something that I do like about Dayton, and that is very different than how Pinckney was.
You might want to move out of a rural area if you're looking for more diversity and you're looking for more exploration in your life. I mean, a lot of people who like staying in small towns, kind of some of the adages of country music. You know who you're around, it's the same things, you have this schedule, there's a lot of people who are a lot like you, and some people want things that are different, and other people like things that are how they are and how they have been. And so you really see this kind of sorting across the lifespan, where, yeah, if someone's in a rural area and it doesn't really fit their personality, they might move out of that area into somewhere else, like Las Vegas.
All right, guys, line for the centers right here behind these people. Make one line, guys.
If you think about like all of the touristy places just in the US, Vegas is always on the list.
So we're just leave to Vegas.
They do. I mean, it's like, oh, like what would you say? Like Vegas, New York City.
New Orleans,
Yeah, New Orleans.
LA, San Fran. those types.
Yeah, it's like maybe somewhere in Florida, like Miami. But I don't want to say we're number one on the list, but I'm just going to go ahead and say that we are. Because everybody loves Vegas. There's something for everybody here. But it is a little bit random that I moved here, but not really, because like my sister had moved here and I knew that I wanted to live near her. My sister had moved out here like a year before and was building her first house, and I was nowhere near that. So for me, I was like, I need to be able to do that. And we're in the same industry, we do the same thing, but it's just on such a different level. I just had to, there's like a pull to come here because I'm like, this is where I can be successful in this field, because Pinckney is not it. My job is very stimulating, it's very social, it's interesting because it's meeting a bunch of different people each day. And in Pinckney, it's not like that. So like I worked at the same restaurant for almost 9 years. I served the same people. I watched them grow up. I watched some of them grow old, and you know, unfortunately, I've seen some of them pass away. So it's kind of like you get stuck in that cycle if you stay in a place like that, whereas like Las Vegas is very transient, very touristy. Even the city, I think, recognizes that it can't be stagnant, so it's constantly changing itself. So I think that's kind of what I like about it too, because it's like if you're just kind of staying stagnant, everything is going to feel redundant, and Vegas isn't that sort of a place.
When we're telling our life stories, a lot of times it's about finding things that are comfortable for you, going on these journeys of exploration and then realizing, oh, this is what I want. I mean, in the same way that moving to Vegas can lead you to realize that you love like the nightlife and how loud it is and how different and flashy it is, perhaps you move to somewhere like Flint and you realize, oh, I actually liked Pinckney.
I kind of miss it from time to time. Mainly just I miss being in a smaller town, closer to family, closer to where I was rooted. There was a part of me there. My family had multiple generations there. My grandma graduated 50 years before I did there. My mom graduated 25 years before I did there. So there's always just that draw to go home, I guess. Flint is a place I am. Like it's home, like as in family, but it's not home as in like in where I belong. I don't belong in the city. I belong in a smaller community. I belong with a little bit of land where I don't have to like sneeze and hit my neighbor. Jimber, come here. Hey, want a ball? Want a ball? Here. So I lived in a duplex growing up. So my grandparents owned it. I think they owned 3 acres. Like they owned the acre they were on, the acre in between us, and then our little area that we lived on. So we see the other dog. At no point did I ever think I was going to be living in Flint working on buses. Like with a dog and a wife. We came to Flint because of work. I work at the MTA, the buses and stuff around here. And she got a job working foster care.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
So we're close to work. That's why we live in Flint. We're country kids. We're never going to live in a city. Cities they're too close, and now it's like, okay, Flint's not bad.
It's not bad. It's just
Flint gets a really bad rap. Like, oh, there's murders on every block, and there's this, and drugs, and crime. And
I would rather live in the country.
Yeah, me too. But like, I don't know. It's nice not having to drive a half an hour to go get dinner. Like, because when I grew up in Pinckney, we had nothing. We had a grocery store, and like we didn't have McDonald's. McDonald's was built like I think when I was 8th grade or something like that. So we didn't have McDonald's down there. So it's just a small little nothing town.
So in the work we do, Livingston County is an excerpt. It's a place that kind of sits between urban, suburban, and rural, really suburban and rural. And Livingston's a really good example of this. On the eastern side of the county, it's kind of the far-flung suburbs of Detroit. and on the western side of the county, it's basically the suburbs of Lansing. And there's a lot of room in between there. And it's a place that's trying to decide, is it going to be a suburban community? Is it going to be a rural community? And the reason it is what it is it's filling up with families. A lot of people are moving there, generally speaking, in exurbs, different kinds of people, and they're changing the nature of the place. And in some ways, that really fits what we see with Pinckney. It's a place that basically was a rural community like 20, 25 years ago, really especially 25 years ago, and it kind of started to see a boom in the beginning of the 2000s.
At that time, you started to notice when it was harder to make a left-hand turn, or there were people in front of you at the post office. And that was, it's kind of gradual that way, but then you notice, oh yeah, wow. So it was clearly growing, the community entirely.
I worked in Ann Arbor at the time and commuted to Ann Arbor every day. And what you did was got up in the morning, got ready for work, got in the car, got in line.
Right.
And you're in line with all the other people leaving from here.
Yes.
To go to.
Because it's either that or Lansing or Dearborn or Detroit.
The story of all suburban places is suburbs, right, or subdivisions. Land gets broken out into streets, and they fill up with more and more of these streets, and the people who once lived on the edge of something with a somewhat rural, quiet existence are suddenly living in something they don't want. So they're going to move a little further out, right? And some families are leaping right over that and moving straight out to Livingston, getting out there into the rural community where you can get more for your money, frankly.
Part of that is, like what was drawing people to come and stay here, right? But as they're finding out, the more people you get, things change, and in order to help them, right, and keep them staying there, you need to offer services like these, like public services, right?
It's changing the look and feel of what Pinckney is. And people move to exurbs for a couple of different reasons. But one of them is the schools tend to be pretty good, because who's moving there? You have to have enough money to move out. So what's happening is you're getting lots of young families with college-educated parents and a little bit of money looking for a better school and a better life. It changes the nature of the school district, and the school district starts to grow.
So here's the and this is when they celebrates new high school.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's actually in the new high school, as I recall it.
It
new
does.
band uniforms. So
Yeah.
but I remember the tail end of that conversation about the monstrosity that became the high school.
Oh.
Well, no, because they were saying, do we really need, if you're talking about older residents who were, anti-growth anyway, but but the idea of do we need that huge of a high school, right, with the high ceiling and everything like that, and but at the time it was justified, given the amount of students that they were seeing back and forth.
So when you get to about 2005, right, Pinckney's had probably a little more than a decade of pretty solid growth, or at least the community, the greater Livingston community, has had pretty solid growth. You could get to 2005. The new high school has been there for a little while. They're planning on a lot more people showing up. In some ways, Pinckney is kind of ascendant, right? When you're talking 2005, the graduating class of 2005 is leaving when Pinckney is really on the upswing. But there's another way of viewing that. The other way of viewing that is Pinckney is becoming something else. People moved there because they wanted a certain way of life. And as all the people come in, is this the place they wanted anymore? Is there a concern that Pinckney is getting too big?
Pinckney has changed a lot. Yeah, it's gotten bigger, and it might be different going back now. I might not want to be there. It might be too big now. Like with all the subdivisions and everything, it's like the land that was here is now gone. It's now houses. It's like, this isn't where I grew up.
God, everyone looks so young. Oh my God, I have not looked at these faces in forever. Oh my God. Oh, homecoming dresses and stuff. Oh, right there. I found it. I could tell, I'm all teeth I remember my senior year, I did get voted Best Smile. It was me and Ian Boyle. I remember some of like the teachers I had there. Oh, Mr. Hollabaugh, he was like the whole reason I started running, because I thought I would get on like the Palms team, but I didn't. And he was like, I like your attitude. I think you'd be a good runner. Little did he know that I was the slowest. That was something. And then I still run to this day. That's me. Yeah, our team was so little. No one wanted to run that far. Oh, I remember one time I got into a car accident and he was the person to stop, Chad. What a turd. Oh. Oh boy. Yikes. Girl. Hannah. Best singer I've ever heard in real life. I'm 100% going to see my girlfriends. The 20 years is like, that's cool. I mean, I didn't realize how much time really kind of elapsed. Because for me, it went by really fast. So going to the 20-year reunion is kind of like, okay, I feel like it's a milestone, but also it is where I used to work and I have a lot of love for that place. And like a lot of my old coworkers still work there and I like live to see them. I still like coming back home to see my girlfriends at Zuki, but it is like being on vacation though. So it's not like, I'm not like coming home, I'm like coming to take time off of work and to see them. Not really. I mean, like I have a lot of like little places that I still like love, but generally I'm like, this is a place I come visit now and that I don't live anymore. Cause like I don't have family in Pinckney or anything, so there's nothing like that. My dad lives in Howell in like the boonies. And I've had some little facelifts on these houses. That's cute. Good for them, good for them. God, that house looks so different. This is my old driveway. I remember riding my bike down here and crashing and falling down those stairs. They have a handrail, good for them. Oh, yeah, cute. So anyway, that's where I grew up.
It feels different being back. It's kind of brings some nostalgia, kind of just interesting to see it. It's been 20 years since we've been here, so a little different. Being here at the field, it's nice to see it. I'm glad to see Pinckney's actually growing, not just some little podunk town anymore. Or we actually have a decent football field now, not just the old one from the 70s. Last time I've been out football field was 20 years ago. It's not been anytime recent. Though I only played my freshman year. I liked being part of it. I actually felt encouraged. Most time I felt like an outsider, but that was one of the few times at school I felt like I belonged. And they're like, hey, Carl, you can do it. Like, you might not be the best, but you can do it. So that was always nice. Being an outsider in high school, going back to reunion today makes me feel kind of anxious. Like, I'm like, okay, who's actually going to be here? Who am I going to actually want to talk to? I'm taking the hour-plus drive to come see how people have changed, to, like, show that I've changed. Because, like, even 10 years ago, I wasn't married, wasn't working where I'm working, so I've changed in at least 10 years. In 20 years, I've changed even more. When I was in my 20s, I didn't do anything because I was sick. And now it's like, okay, I may have, at the last reunion, not been able to do anything or not have much to show, but now at least I have a little bit to show. I have a degree, I have a good job, I have a wife. At least I have something to show, I feel like now, more than I had then.
What do you think? Time portal, 20 years?
Yeah.
See it? So yeah.
I want to have a medal. I want to have that medal.
I'll put it on?
Yeah.
I did not go to our 10-year reunion, so I'm interested in attending the 20-year. And I think there's a few people from the swim team or people that are acquaintances or maybe like now connections on social media that I get to see some pictures and some things of what they're doing in life. But I think it would be kind of interesting just to see who they grew up to become, just how I had changed and kind of see how they've changed as well. And it's more out of curiosity and just why not? I remember walking through here to get to different classes and wandering with the friends. It's different having it so quiet and just me walking through at this point, but it was usually a big hustle and bustle, and at the bottom of the stairs, everyone kind of colliding as each levels would come down and meet at the bottom. So usually would bump into someone or say hi or see a friend in between classes, even if they weren't in your class or walking with you. It was just the interaction and social aspect of it is what I think of wandering the halls, as everyone's opening and slamming their lockers and switching through. So this used to be the library. Yeah, that's definitely changed. Can tell that they've repurposed the area to more of like a hangout area, so it looks different. It is interesting to like think of how there's no more books. Like when there used to be like the encyclopedias and like having to do the bibliography of like references and things like that. So I think that's a big change, but I think it looks really cool. I think it would definitely be a place that if I were a student, I would want to hang out at any of those like table areas or social areas, I assume is what that would now be. It's kind of the same layout, so I feel like there's a sense of home or remembrance of knowing and familiarity, but knowing that it's not my school that I'm going to now, like that it's moved on. And I think that I've kind of moved on from when I was here, and I think the school has continued to evolve over time. Initially pulling in and they were doing some construction outside for getting ready for the next year. It's like, wow, they really already need a new parking lot? Like, didn't they just get one? And then also reflecting, well, I guess it has been 20 years. So it's probably time for a new parking lot or some updates during that time. So I think that that's just kind of the test of time and realizing times have continued on.
So Pinckney at this point, you get past 2005, 2006, 2007, it's growing. Actually, like a lot of the country at the time, like houses are going up, families are moving in, low interest rates at the time, things were good. And then all of a sudden, the recession happens and it hits everywhere. I mean, you know, it hits all over the state of Michigan in particular, and it hits Livingston County, but it really hits Pinckney, right? This is a small place that's growing very rapidly, and suddenly it stops dead in its tracks.
In the earlier 2000s, this building had upwards of 1,600 students. So, you know, every aspect of the building was in use. Over about a 10-year span of time, our enrollment changed significantly, and we are now a building of 600 students. You know, we're really close to Ann Arbor, and Pfizer was a company that was there for quite some time, and a lot of families lived here and worked at Pfizer. So when Pfizer left, we had kind of an exodus of, you know, what was probably a fair amount of our students right at the time.
And that was a huge impact. And then the bankruptcies of the big car companies also impacted us in so many ways, because like I said, this was a commuter town. Right? So people were working at GM, people were working at Ford, people were working at Chrysler, you know, and when those jobs left, so too did the people that were here.
What's one thing about living in an exurb? One thing is you're further away from everything. It's not a suburb, it's an exurb. It's further away. Gas prices go up, Commutes become more expensive. It becomes less possible as a place for some people to live.
The town is kind of aging.
It is, but I think the biggest hit that was the recession when Pfizer closed.
Well, then there was employment issues. So if your kids grew up, they're not going to find work near here.
Yes.
They're going to leave. So then you're going to have the aging parents in the house with no kids.
Yes.
No grandkids coming back.
Yes.
And so that shrinks the population too.
That's sure.
So the recession happens in Pinckney and everywhere, and growth stalls. There are no more families moving in. There is no more rapid growth. Things have really slowed down. And to get that going again, somebody has to say like, okay, the recession's over. Let's start building again. Let's start becoming bigger again. The problem is you have what you call NIMBYism, not my backyardism. People don't want that growth. And it's particularly true in exurbs and especially in a place like Pinckney, where I moved here for the rural environment. I moved here to get away from everything. I didn't like how much it was changing before. Now you're gonna try to have us grow again? No. We're gonna slow this down. We're gonna put the brakes on.
If we're talking about like a community that is very established, like they look at their identity as being this, right? That they take pride in the fact that they've been here for 5, 6, 7 generations. Usually when you're dealing with that kind of mentality, right? That's when it comes to, we don't want anything to change as much. Like you can change to a certain degree, but not a whole heck of a lot, because now you're going to get pushback, right? Because that's too much. That's not something I'm comfortable with, or that's going to change a whole lot of how I'm doing my business or how I'm doing my life.
How the village has changed in 20 years? It wasn't changing. What's the problem? It was kind of going, I don't want to say backwards, but everybody had good intentions and they just didn't want to change. They wanted to keep it the same. So buildings sat empty, We've got a bunch of auto parts stores, which is okay. It was great, but nothing was changing. It was just staying complacent. And I was frustrated by that because the town is capable of so much more. If you don't innovate, you die. And we can innovate. We can become better, but at the same time, we can keep that hometown feeling. We don't have to change our culture and who we are, but we still have to grow.
So in exurbs, just the nature of them and the way they develop, there has to be kind of an adapt or die attitude. The place is going to develop. Even Metro Detroit, which has grown very slowly, is going to grow, right? You're not going to have the entire county grow around Pinckney and Pinckney stay a rural place. I mean, that may work for a little while, but at some point, it's going to fill up. So I think if you're thinking about it through the eyes of Pinckney, or the way I think about it would be like, are we going to try to adapt on our own terms? Or are we just going to wait it out to the very end and then God knows what's going to happen?
So I think in many ways, that's where that tension is coming from. And we're seeing more and more that because we are trying to get newer people here in town to make up for the lack, right? That yes, now we have to step up. Now we have to come in and offer them something that will keep them here, something that will not just entice them, but also keep them here.
It looks nicer. Yeah, because we just didn't have a lot of this stuff. There just there wasn't as many things, and now I feel like they put corporate things in, whereas it used to be, I would say, predominantly mom and pop type of things. But even downtown is kind of like that. I noticed that it's still mom and pops, but then they'll have a Subway, so it's a little bit of both. They've put in stuff that's more necessary for if the if the population's getting bigger. You can't just have 4 gas pumps for everyone who lives here. It just doesn't make sense. So I think they're starting to kind of revamp more of the infrastructure of making things hum. It's this was our gas station. That's it. And now it's crusty and dead. But yeah. No, it's too cold. Too cold. And there's just not for me, there's not enough money in this town. So no, it's like I'm too used to working in like a tourist city. So it's just like, it would be a major pay cut, and I hate the weather here for half the year. So it's like, I'd be very unhappy for half the year being colder than I would like, and then not making the money that I'm used to making. It's gonna be a no for me, dog. The bar is low, like I could trip on it. For me, I'm like, I don't really expect anything out of the reunion.
I would say going back, I'm probably a little bit nervous just because I didn't really stay in contact with anyone.
I'm excited to see how we all changed. I'm excited to see how Pinckney has taken us from where we were to where we are. It's going to be different. I'm going to be shy. Hopefully I don't shake too much, but it's going to be nice to see old faces.
Yeah, definitely a lot of people look very old.
Yeah. It took me a second. I didn't recognize him for a moment.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I mostly recognize everybody.
I work on the buses up in Flint. That's what I do. So, yeah.
About 20 people show up, I think, around there-ish. Just kind of a small little room in the back of a bar. Nothing, not overly pressurized. Just, hey, go talk, eat, drink, whatever you guys want.
Most of our city buses are compressed natural gas.
Okay, they're CNG.
We have 3 hydrogen buses.
Badass.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Today feels different than high school because it feels like no one cares who you are or what you are. It's just, oh, it's good to see you. It's not like, oh, yeah, you're that weird guy that did this. It's like, no, it's good to see you. It's good to find out what you're up to.
It was everything I hoped it would be. No, I mean, it was like awkward. I expected a little bit more of a turnout. Kind of a diverse group showed up, so that was cool. But I'm glad that the guys I'm talking to right now, they ran cross country with me. I'm glad that they showed up. Like, I feel like I have the most in common with them, so that was nice. I moved 11 years ago.
I remember you working here.
Yeah. I remember when I had that car accident and you were the one that stopped.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was just bawling. It was on day 19, like right before 96. Yeah, and I spun out into somebody's front yard.
Yeah.
Just bawling. We talked about just kind of random stuff, like what we've been up to. They talked about their kids, work, just kind of like the normal banter, not like, please tell me what the past 20 years have been like, but just, the general overview of like, this is a tiny snapshot of my life. I don't have that sense of like community that they have here because they're very much still involved with each other's lives, and like their parents are hanging out, and like the people that they're talking about, it's very intertwined. And I'm like, yeah, I don't do that. I don't have that.
And how old are your 3?
8, 6, and then soon to be 5.
Wow, okay.
I've seen a couple of different posts of you going to different concerts with your mom and living your best life.
Yeah, concerts are my one source of entertainment. We go to a couple festivals, typically one a year just for fun.
I think the major theme that I talked with most people was what have they been up to for the last 20 years and where are they residing now, their jobs, their families, kind of the generic questions of who they are and what they've been up to over the past few years. How do you feel about the reunion so far?
I mean, I feel like it's weird. It's kind of what I expected, though. Yeah.
I like that it's chill. No one's like, oh, I'm only hanging with these people, or I'm only doing this. It's kind of just a chill environment.
I feel like there's some familiar faces or people that I haven't talked to in 20 years.
Yeah.
So nice to say hi and see what they've been up to in the meantime.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's kind of grown and blossomed in their own person, so it's kind of fun to see. Get a check-in with everyone in real life instead of just virtually online to see what they've been up to. Make your assumptions from afar, but actually being able to talk to someone and hear their story is pretty cool.
I was excited to see Chad and Ian because I ran with them.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But I mean, I'm glad to see everybody. I'm glad to see people showed up.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Just because I was here for so long, like I was excited to see my girlfriends and like my old boss and everything. So like there's a lot of nostalgia just for being here.
Yeah.
So that was what I was like mostly excited for. I'm like, I can see my girlfriends, and I mean, I love coming back here.
Yeah.
So
It's definitely different. It's like, what happened to our small little town? There's all these like houses and businesses now. It's like, what happened?
I was sad to see Pettysville gone.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice that?
I did not notice that, but I did know the last time I came into town that there was like the big gas station that was there, and
Yeah.
there was the little
It was weird.
little junction. So
Yeah, because I was a Rush Lake kid, so like walking up there was like an integral part of my childhood. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go walk and get gum or nerds or whatever.
definitely.
So what have you guys been up to?
Moved, working a lot, being a crazy dog mom.
Right. Same. I'm a crazy dog dad. I got him tatted on me.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Very cute. No pets for me, but I do have 3 kids.
Okay.
8, 5, and 8, 6, and 5.
Okay.
What are you doing for work these days?
I'm a mechanic at MTA. I fix buses, try to make sure that the junk keeps rolling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. You're always pretty handy.
Yeah. What do you do?
Actually, right now I'm a stay-at-home mom, kind of in transition of employment right now. So my husband's working, and I've been hanging out with the kids for the summer. And just got an offer for an HR position in northern Michigan. So I'm looking to relocate back to Michigan.
So you guys talking about going back up north then?
Yeah, relocate from Dayton, Ohio is where we are right now.
Okay.
I'm looking at northern Michigan kind of as an opportunity to be kind of close to my parents, and then his dad is up in northern Michigan. So if they need us to care for them in the future as they're aging, kind of be local and around them.
That's nice of you.
Yeah. And how about you? What have you been up to?
Bartending. Bartend at a pool. I bartend downtown. I do a little bit of hair too, so kind of dabbling in that, but
Keeping busy?
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's always busy. Like, I remember moving away because I wanted to work less, and I still work almost the same, but I just better pay. So a little bit, the juice is a little bit more worth the squeeze.
Do you think I'll be going to our 30th reunion?
Probably.
Who knows
Just
where we'll be in 30 years?
Yeah, because it's kind of nice going from like the 10-year reunion we had at Bowling Alley to this, to see where everyone's grown, where it's going to be another 10 years.
I mean, is it here again?
I don't know, are you planning it again? Going back does remind me of change. It reminds me of, like, I'm not necessarily the same guy that I was when I left Pinckney. I'm a different person. I've changed. I've grown. It's like, okay, I'm a grown up now. I'm almost 40. I'm going to be 40 in January. It's like, this isn't the same town as I was when I was a 20-year-old or even when I was in high school.
If after high school, many of your classmates stick around and you are one of the few that goes somewhere else and you change and you adapt to that new area, maybe now you're used to living somewhere in Flint and in a more urban area and in a more diverse area, and then you come back to Pinckney that isn't those things, all of a sudden you're going to feel like a little bit of an odd duck. And so of course you're going to change to fit where you were. It'd be kind of silly, honestly, if you still were like how you were in Pinckney even after living somewhere else for many years. And so I imagine in terms of identity, both saying, you know, I don't live here anymore, and feeling like you don't live here anymore, but also just the way you are, just the way you behave, the way you talk, maybe even the slang terms you use are a little different. And each of those little differences might combine to make you just feel like you're not in the place you used to be, and you're not really belonging anymore.
I think from the people that I've talked to at the reunion, a lot of people don't necessarily want to come back. Like, they like it, but they just spread their wings and have gone outside of Pinckney, outside of our area. For me to move back to Pinckney would take opportunity. Like, I would have to have a job down in that area. My wife would have to have a job down in that area. We'd have to completely rebuild our community. Like, here we have our church, we have our doctors, we joined a dog walking group. Like, so we've got little things we're building in our community around us slowly, but it's like, if we move back to Pinckney, we would have to redo all that. It's like, I don't necessarily want to right now. Kind of happy where I'm at. I feel like I have outgrown Pinckney. Pinckney was a great small little town. It was a great place to grow up, but I kind of want more of my community that I'm building now than the community I had when I was there. Like, I still miss my community from there, and I still talk to people from, like, outside of high school, but, like, as people venture out, they don't necessarily want to go back to that small little town.
I'm enjoying living in Cadillac as a way of being back in Michigan, but yet still being a new adventure for myself and the family, since we've never actually lived here before. We'd visited or driven through, but still within driving distance of family and friends. So a little bit different than being back in Pinckney, where there's a lot of specific memories of certain locations or certain things that we would do that are still a new adventure being here. I think looking back, going back and revisiting that area and really like the reunion overall, I do feel like it was just kind of the feelings that I would get of looking back on an old photo album of just here's some snapshots in time and the history that's there. But I do feel like I've just grown since that point in my life, and not having the memories between those gaps doesn't really draw me back there.
I don't know if there's something about moving away that makes you feel different. I feel like I am less connected with the town. This is like literally all I do all day. I'm just petting dogs. I think going back made me feel more disconnected than my younger self. I think primarily because I think people go through a lot of changes, obviously, like, you know, between your high school years and, you know, us being all almost like 40 at this point. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm so different now than I was as like a teenager, a child. So I feel like there's a big disconnect just because of like how much you kind of grow into yourself, like, you know, year after year. I feel like it's just a continuous kind of evolution. No. If somebody asked me to plan the 30-year reunion, I'd be like, no, you do it. If you care, do it. Because I'm certainly not gonna go. There were, I don't know, what were there, like 20 or so people that showed up. Like, I'm good. I'm fine without doing all of that. I probably have I would rather hang out with my dogs, for sure.